is the final cause of stress is unpleasant jobs hanging over you, where you just worry and you just think, I still haven't filled in that tax form, or I still haven't got paid that bill, or it fixed that thing on my car, and it's a horrible feeling when it hangs over you and it's adding to your stress. And the key is just get that job done somehow. Find a way to get that job done. And there are lots of ways to overcome procrastination. Procrastination comes from I'm just going to tell you about 2 or 3 of them, and then we finished, okay? Procrastination comes from the 2 parts of your brain having a little argument. So you've got the grown-up part going, I really should fill in my tax form. And then you've got the child going, no, leave it till next week. You can leave it another week. And so there's a battle between the child and the adult. And this is called self-control or self-discipline. And quite often the child wins. Shall I clean my car or shall I go and eat some chocolate? I think I'll eat the chocolate. And the child wins every time. Shall I go to the gym or not? And the child goes, no, don't go to the gym. It's horrible. And the adult goes, I really should, because I'm a bit overweight. And the child goes, no, it's all right. No, nobody minds. And so how do we beat the child and manage to do the things that the child doesn't want to do? And there are all sorts of ways, but I just want to mention a couple down the bottom here. One is put it in your calendar. Just book in an hour to do whatever it is you're putting off. Suppose you're putting off a stock check in your stockroom. I don't know whether you do those, but let's say. So just book it in your diary. Just say, I'm going to do it on Friday between 4 and 5. I'm doing it. And make a promise to yourself and put it in the diary. And then you kind of have to. Now, you can always, when you get there, you can always just cancel that. But then you have to admit that you're a bit of a failure. And I find if I write it in my diary, I feel I sort of have to do it. Plus, I've kept the time free. So when I get there is the time allocated. I'm much more likely to do it. But you can also start the day with a tough one. So you could come into work and think, what's the worst job I've got? And maybe it's doing your stock reorganization. You think, right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get rid of it right now. Or maybe you're dreading phoning up Zvi and saying it's not been a very good week. But rather than worry all day about phoning him and having a terrible day, why not just phone him and get it done? And then the rest of the day seems easy in comparison. So there is an argument for coming into work and just thinking, what's the worst thing I've got, and getting rid of it. And similarly at home, on Saturday morning, just think, what's the job I'm putting off? And is it, repainting that thing or fixing something or whatever, I don't know, and just do it and get it done. And you can work with a buddy. If you're in a store with somebody else, you can say, what's your worst thing that you're putting off? And ask each other, and then both agree you're just going to do them. So you could start the day with a tough one. Another way you can do it is just plunge in and do it. Before you've had a chance to worry about what that customer's going to say or what Zvi's going to say or whatever, just make the call. Before your child has had a chance to come out with a big list of possible problems, just do it. 2 more ways, and then I've finished. Visualize. So you can visualize. I'm going to put visualize plus and minus on there. So you can visualize it going really well. Imagine how good it's going to be to have the storeroom all sorted and organized, the computer is accurate. How good does that feel? And that might make you think, yeah, I'm going to do that. Imagine phoning Zvi with, the bad news you have to tell him. And he goes, no problem. I understand. You're still better than the Miami office. And then you think, well, actually, that doesn't, I can do this. I can do this, and make the call. But you can also imagine how bad it is. You can imagine your stockroom being a total shambles and you can't find anything. And the president comes in to buy a Christmas present for his wife, and you can't find it in the right size because you didn't organize the stockroom. And you build up this sort of picture that makes you think, I really need to sort the stockroom out. Or you imagine not phoning Zvi, and then he discovers, and then you're in big trouble. And if only you'd phoned him. So sometimes it works to imagine a bad situation if you don't do it. And sometimes it works to imagine a good situation if you do it. But either way, that can work. That can work really well, just painting a picture in your mind. And then my final suggestion, if you're putting something off, is divide it down into chunks and just do the first bit. So you say, all I'll do is I'll just reorganize that little bit of the storeroom there. I'll just do that. That's all I'll do. And then your inner child thinks, well, I can do that. And quite often, once you've started, you think, actually, I might as well do the rest of that row while I'm there. In fact, I might as well do the other row. And before long, you've done it all. But even if you only do the bit you promised, you've made a start. And the next day, you can do the next little bit. So just say, I'll do the first bit. All I'll do is the first bit. And then that can make you get started on the thing that is stressing you out because it's hanging over you.